Hello and welcome to In the QC, a podcast brought to you by the Quad Cities Chamber. If you aren't from here, I know what you're thinking. QC? That's where? The QC is the heart of the Midwest, a proud, forward-thinking family of communities connected by one of the world's most renowned rivers, the Mississippi. The region attracts returners and explorers, investors and entrepreneurs because it offers the well-being and comforts of the accessible, the homegrown, and the local, combined with an inventive imagination that embraces arts, businesses, and global aspirations. Welcome back to In the QC. I'm your host, Lo, and today I'm so excited for this podcast episode because I am sitting down with two of the participants in this year's Leadership QC cohort. So for those of you that don't know, Leadership QC is a program for experienced community leaders and innovative thinkers who want to enhance their leadership skills. Cohort participants work collectively to develop business-oriented solutions to challenges that impact our workforce, which ties into the growth and success of our region. So you know that is a huge mission of the Quad Cities Chamber to create a prosperous regional economy for all to thrive, and Leadership QC plays into that mission. Welcome, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to now ask my participants to introduce themselves and let us know what companies or organizations they work for. Alexi, why don't we begin with you?
Sounds great. I'm Alexi Licata. I am the product manager of employee experience at John Deere. So great to be here. Thanks for the opportunity and excited to share out some things about Leadership QC today.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Kay, how about you?
All right, I'm KJ Whitley, and I work for the city of Moline, and I am the community development manager. Been here for 22 years now.
Oh, awesome. Great.
I'm great to have this opportunity. It's a learning experience, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, thank you. And this is Kay's first podcast. Alexi, is this your first podcast as well?
It is, like, first real one. We've dabbled in it, but haven't really made it come to life before. So excited to do it the real full swing.
Well, great.
Well, nice that we're doing it together then. All right.
Go team. Let's do it.
All right.
Learn together.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me on In the QC. Let's get started with some questions. So could you guys tell us about what happens at Leadership QC for our listeners and our viewers that maybe still don't understand what the program looks like for that full day? Just tell us a little bit about what these all-day sessions consist of.
Yeah, Kay, do you want to go first or you want me to go?
Oh, Alexa, you can go first. That's fine.
Okay. So basically how I take it, we come in the morning, we do a little chat and, get to know each other more. And then we kind of dive in based on what the schedule is. So we've only had 2 sessions. So just a high level of what we've done so far and how it's kind of rolled was we had some speakers at the last session, some external speakers from the city of Rock Island, from John Deere, from United Way. And all of those speakers really connected with our different readings that we have. So our readings last week were on corporate social responsibility, social issues, health, education, income. So we got to learn about all of that, and all the speakers then connected to make that really come to life and how what we're reading really does relate to what is happening in the Quad Cities, and also gives you some ideas about, well, what can I be thinking about and doing to help try to start impacting some of these different areas. And throughout that, we also got to take, from the very first session, we did a DISC assessment. So you really get to know a little bit about your communication style, as well as those about others' communication style. So that's been a really fun one because it allows you to self-reflect on how you are. And maybe it's some things you know about yourself, but it's always fun to have, an assessment tell you a little bit more. And then also getting to hear about how others communicate and figuring out how to be each other's best thought partner and work partner, and just to know them on a different level. So those are some of the things that I know we've done so far, and excited to see what more sessions consist of. But Kay, I'd love to hear your perspective as well.
Well, I would agree with everything that you said, and I would add to that on the assessment. That assessment is spot on. When you kind of take those tests online, you think, oh, they're just going to fabricate something. But as you read through it, at least for me, mine was spot on, and my personality and my management style. So, you're learning a lot about your management style. Well, like I said, I've been in Moline for 22 years. Before then, I was in Rock Island for 8 years. And when I started in Rock Island, I was vice president of the union. And then when I came over to Moline, I was union president. So now today, my current situation, I'm no longer in the union, but immediately in those two positions, I was thrown into a leadership role without any leadership training, if that makes sense. So it's nice to have some time to kind of reflect and work with others who are in that management role. And one thing that I'm learning, I'm from the government, but in this class, there's more people from the private sector. And so things are different in the private sector than they are in the government. But nevertheless, it's still the role of management and leadership and, running your organization with your best skills. So yeah, we're learning a lot. I know in our upcoming one, I'm so excited. Not that the other ones haven't been great, because they have, but the next one is in my wheelhouse. I oversee the housing programs and the community and business programs for the city of Moline. So our next one, we're going to dabble into housing, affordable, safe, and decent housing here in the Quad Cities. We're also going to learn some more on the poverty levels. We're also going to talk about crime. So I'm so excited for that next session next Thursday, and to be honest with you, that's what I want to write my paper on. That's what I want to do my project on, housing.
Oh, awesome. I'm so happy you both brought up the assessment, because before joining the Quad Cities Chamber, I had never taken a personality assessment, and I thought I had a pretty good idea of who I was. And then, so when you start at the chamber, you take a Gallup personality test, and it will give you your 5 top personality traits. Mine was so spot on. It was freaky. I mean, it was like this exactly who I was. And then in learning that and being able to compare my personality to my other team members on the communications team, it was so interesting because we had so many factors that were aligned, but then where you see someone else's strengths was a different personality trait compared to yours. So it's just so cool to get to see the inner workings of who we are and our leadership styles, our management styles. I think it gives us a really good opportunity to kind of peek behind the curtain, right? And get to understand maybe how someone else works and how someone else ticks. So that's so awesome that is a part of Leadership QC, and that you guys have gotten to take that route.
No, I love that you said that too. And one thing I always like to say, and then I know I can be quiet and move on, but when it comes to talking, it's all about talking. No, I love it. But when it comes to the assessments too, one of my favorite things is when somebody maybe reacts to something in a different way than you would have. It doesn't mean it's something against you. I think that's one thing those assessments really help ground is, that's just how they would do this to anyone. It's not like a personal attack on me or that they hated my idea. Right. It's just how they approach situations, problems, and people. And so that's another piece I really love about all the assessments, including Gallup's. You just get to learn so much about yourself and others, and it helps really set the perspective of, just how they communicate, how they talk to you, why they show up the way they do, and it makes it more fun. So.
Oh, that's such a
There's so many personalities in that room. What is there, 16, 17 of us? But like Alexi said, we're all going to get to the finish line together. We might do it a little bit differently, but we're all there to change, to achieve the same goals. So
I love that. Awesome.
It's great building that networking system too.
Yeah.
Seeing how different people do it, and different personalities do it a little bit different. At our last meeting, we had an exercise where we had to plan an event. And that's all Dr. Ladrina told us. It's just plan an event. We didn't know if it was a wedding, an anniversary party. And by our assessment, we were divided up in tables. And for my particular assessment, there's only 2 of us. And we had planned a wedding in less than 10 minutes from start to finish. We were very detail oriented. We had it down from A to Z. But I mean, that's just the nature of our personalities.
Okay,
and it's just nice to see how other people work.
Where were you when I got married? I need that planning session.
Well, like I said, we're learning more and more every day. It's a different opportunity. And, between the learning and the networking, it's just a great opportunity for anyone to be afforded this opportunity to take this class.
Absolutely.
I love that. And on that note, what do you both hope to gain from this program?
Okay, you take it away this time.
I would say to improve my managerial style, and as well as myself. It's one thing, as we're approaching and really DEI has become so important in the workforce now, to make sure everyone is invited to the table and to make sure everyone is included at the table. Someone kind of summed it up at one of my recent meetings. It's one thing to be invited to the dance, but it's another thing to be asked to dance at the dance. And
Yes.
that's something that I'm really trying to remember as I move forward in my career, to make sure it's all inclusive, no matter who you are or what job you hold.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that was a hard answer to top, Kay. I love that and would build off that, you know? I mean, I feel awkward coming in second for that one, but no, that was really good. And I love the piece just about learning more about inclusion. And also, just to add to your point, and then I'll go with what I was going to say too, but when it comes to that too, like again, the personality assessments and everything, and just being with people who work in different sectors or different organizations and approach problems differently, it also gives you a taste of how different people, even in your organization, will approach problems too, and just let you practice inclusion as a leader as well, just in the meetings themselves. And one thing I would add, again, as you said, Kay, definitely want to enhance my managerial skills, my leadership skills, and be better in that regard. But I'm also hoping to just gain a broader understanding of the barriers facing the 6 regions in the Quad Cities, and being able to have a chance to create a positive impact at John Deere, at our community, all around, and working with other leaders who are aspiring to be even better at their jobs and also are passionate about making change as well. So excited to think big and collaborate with a team of dedicated individuals who also are focused on moving this needle forward for the greater good of our community.
Oh,
And just to build on that, collaboration is a key.
yeah.
No man is an island. You're going to have a better product with different perspectives there, and how you build that together, it's just going to make you feel good. And I think you're going to have a better product no matter what. So,
You know,
yes.
as someone who was born and raised in the Quad Cities, who has a deep-rooted love for this region, I have to say, sitting down with you guys and listening to these answers, I feel so proud to be a Quad citizen, to know that there are leaders that are working to address the issues in our region and who just want to make this a better and more inclusive place. I mean, what more could you ask for as someone who loves their hometown? So thank you both for being a part of that.
And just to follow up on that, I can
Yeah.
say, when I was afforded this opportunity to apply for the program, I didn't know what I was applying for, to be honest with you. I know one of my friends went through the program last year and they had a lot of positive things to say about it. And I think after she came out of that program, she gained a lot, and she shared that with me. So I'm like, whoa, well, if I get this opportunity, hopefully I can pick up more and apply it to me personally as well as me professionally. So I just think it's a great opportunity. I've shared it with others. Hey, go on and apply for this program next year. It's a great program. And I mean, now we're getting ready to go into our 3rd class. We have 9 total to go, but it's already exciting. You look forward to the agenda coming out with the reading materials, because it's something different every time. So
Awesome. Well, okay, you covered my next question. My next question was going to be, what made you guys decide to apply for Leadership QC? So I'll turn it over to Alexi. Alexi, what made you decide to apply for this? Was it like Kay, you had a friend who introduced you to the program, or was it someone within John Deere?
Yeah, so many reasons. Actually, I don't think anybody in John Deere, we were a speaker for social corporate responsibility last year as well, but nobody was actually in the program. So now there's a handful of us from John Deere there working together in this program, which is really cool because, as you know, John Deere's a pretty big company. So I didn't even know everybody who in my own organization. So it's fun to meet them and know more people at my own network as well as other companies. But some other reasons I also joined, like, this program just provides an avenue, as I kind of mentioned earlier, to connect with others who also have a passion for change and create meaningful partnerships that, even once this program's over, hopefully it won't stop here. You just expanded your network, and you can keep working with them to do things even once this program officially ends. And I'm excited to learn and just partner with others who have maybe different strengths than I do, approach topics different than I do, gain my own self-reflection as well as learning more about others. And as I mentioned earlier as well, it just provides an opportunity to really connect with others who are passionate about issues that are happening, and having the opportunity to go in and even talk maybe with the community, depending on what role, what project you get assigned, and to understand truly what needs to be changed and why. And I love the idea of getting to go out and talk to those truly impacted to really understand what is the best approach and solution to this problem. Like not just us sitting here, doing research, but talking with those in the community being impacted by it to really understand the full issue at hand. So yeah, just a lot of things I'm excited about being here for, and grateful to have chosen to be part of this program.
Oh, that's
Definitely
great.
the connections, like you said, are key. The education is key, and that we're learning, the networking. And then I'm looking for us to working on the projects together, you know, bringing in so many different perspectives from the municipal government side to the private sector side, whether it's housing, whether it's something in manufacturing, developing a new product, just it's endless possibilities, but you're
Absolutely.
always learning. So you're growing when you're learning. So
Oh, that's great. And we've kind of touched on this a couple of times throughout this podcast episode so far, but as individuals, everyone in Leadership QC brings a really unique perspective and a unique set of skills to the program. So I would love to know, what unique skills and perspectives do you bring to the group?
Yeah. No,
oh,
I know
go
this is
ahead.
a tough
No,
one.
go,
This
go.
is a
oh no,
tough
go ahead.
Okay, I like it. So this is maybe my answer is going to sound a little fluffy, but I truly mean it. I love people. Like I genuinely love people. I love knowing different people. I like hearing about different people's experience. I like talking to strangers at different places and just getting to know them, just to understand their life a little bit. So being part of this allows me to not only just get to know people, but also figure out what we can do to help make their life a little better. And I really do strive each day to hopefully impact at least one person. And maybe it's their personal life at work. Just feeling seen by somebody else can make you feel better. And so I really set out to do that. And so Leadership QC provides a platform to do that at a greater scale, and to really touch on meaningful differences and working with those who also, as I said before, are passionate about these different areas and trying to make a true meaningful impact. So that's, I think being a people focus is what has, somewhat of a uniqueness to me, just my genuine love for getting to know different people.
Oh, I love that answer.
Well, I would agree with that. I would agree with everything that Alexi said, but I would also add, I too am a social butterfly. I like networking. I like communicating with people. I'm very much out there in the public eye. With that being said, as a parent, you always just want a better life for your kids. And so as a community leader, you always want a better life for the public that you're trying to help as a public servant. So just growing and being able to see what you're doing out there is making a positive impact. I think is so beneficial personally and professionally to us all.
That is awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I have one last question for you both. But I just have to say, this has been an awesome episode. I don't think I've smiled more during a podcast episode, but I am going to leave this episode feeling inspired and feeling hopeful for our region and for all the work that you guys are doing as leaders in this region. So last question, what would you both say to someone thinking about joining next year's cohort?
Go for it. Positive vibes. When you stop learning, you stop growing. And I think under this class, we're still growing. We're still learning, and we're learning new ways to bring in chances to develop our managerial style as well as ourselves, and making positive contributions to the community.
Oh, I love that. Thank you, Kay.
No, yeah, you said it so wonderfully, and I just want to echo it. Absolutely do it. Go for it. Try it. Stretch, grow. The world is dynamic. So something that was really great yesterday still might have greatness, but needs to be enhanced a little bit. And so just being able to go with that, and you get an opportunity to broaden your network and meet other wonderful people and just get to know them and learn from them and learn more about yourself. And yeah, all around a very well-rounded experience. You learn about yourself, others, get to make a difference, learn about current. I think that's one also piece. We're getting to be immersed in what's going on in the Quad Cities too at a deeper level, because we do have all these external speakers coming in. So we've read about something before, but now you get to talk to the experts and have a full on learning session with them. And so that's a really unique piece as well. It's not just looking at a clip of what we see in the news, but getting to talk with the people who actually maybe wrote that article. And now you get to talk and pick their brain about it a little bit more to know things at a deeper level. So yes, do it 100%.
All positive vibes.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Alexi and Kay, for joining me today. This has been a great episode of In the QC. For our listeners and viewers, we will make sure to link to Leadership QC so you can learn more about this program. And any leaders out there tuning in, apply for the next year's cohort. Very excited for this program to continue and for everything that it's doing for our region. So thank you to my guests again. This has been an awesome episode. I'm really honored to have gotten the chance to sit down with you both.
Well, thank
All
you.
right. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. Have a happy Tuesday, and thanks for letting us be here with you today.